do
What's
it.
going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Talking with Beauty is episode 210. And on today's episode, everything about March Madness, round of 64 plus round of 32s, and maybe even some Final Four predictions near the end. But on today's episode, we got an awesome guest. Welcome back to the channel, Keenan. What's going on, dude?
Yo, what's good? It's good. Glad to
All
be
right, dude.
back.
What's March Madness to you? Do you like March Madness? Do you like college basketball? Is it just this time of year you enjoy?
Honestly, I'm not a huge. I don't like the NBA. Um, and then college basketball it's a long season. It's like hockey, so
Yeah.
don't really watch it like regular season. But I find this is what counts, is what matters. As this is what I really like is the hype of it all. The teams, schools I've never even heard of or fathomed
Yeah.
coming in, and the random dudes who like or I saw one stat. It was crazy. He was like 1 for 3 field goals, but 40 for like 50 on 3 points. Like,
Yeah, the high point
yeah,
guard. I think
yeah.
Chase Johnson or something
And he
like that.
takes like
Chance Johnson.
no 2 pointers, only threes, which is crazy.
Insane. That is definitely a March Madness kind of stat though. That
Yeah.
is a scary player, a scary team to see that pop out on Instagram or Twitter. All right, so on today's episode, we are going to talk about the round of 64s, make our picks that will be officially in for our bracket mania kind of thing that you guys will see on what's it called, the Instagram, and we'll see all the point values there. Everything will be followed between those picks today and those brackets that will be posted on the channel's Instagram. So if you guys want to go check that out, follow along when we get further down, by all means, go check it out. So we'll talk about that, talk about the round of 32s, since that's going to be Thursday, Friday. And if you wanted to do even more picks down the line, like, hey, I think this team's going down in the Elite Eight and it might be a good pick or a hot take pick, we'll make those picks as well. But we won't go through the entire bracket. We'll probably end on Final Four and our predictions for the champion for our bracket. So sounds good, dude?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's start it off. We'll start off with Duke Siena, the 1 versus 16. Duke is the number 1 overall seed in this one out of the East. And actually, the East has the second most ever combined national championships in one bracket. They're at 32 combined national championships in one bracket, the second most all time for a March Madness tournament, which I think March Madness expanded in 1985. So all these stats will be from 1985 on. So very interesting there. But do you see any 16 over 1 here in this one?
I don't. No, not at all.
Yeah, I
We got
agree. I don't think
some good picks down the line, but not here.
yeah. There is some one seeds that could go down, but definitely not Duke in the first round to Siena. I don't see that happening at all here. So we'll move on. Ohio State versus TCU, an 8 versus 9. I think is actually a really good game, really toss-up game here. But what do you got for it?
I got Ohio State.
Yeah, I think this could go either way. I like Ohio State a lot personally, but 8 9s, they always seem to go the nines way. At least 2 out of the 4 teams of the nines have to probably go on based off of the history. So I'm going
Right.
this one as being one of my nines. I got TCU winning this one, but I think it's a coin flip with these 8 9, especially
Yeah,
this
the
one.
8 9s. It's the most uh balanced, I feel like, matchup across the whole bracket.
Yeah, and according to the committee, they made out their rankings for everybody 1 through 68, and TCU is ranked 34 and Ohio State's ranked 31. So you can't get much closer than that when it comes to 8 9s there. Moving on, number 5, St. John's versus number 12, Northern Iowa. Do you see a 12 over 5 here?
I don't, not here. St. John's, and we were talking about it a little bit before we started. Them being one of our favorited people or teams. So definitely not here.
Yeah, what we mentioned before for you guys, St. John's never really shows up really throughout the season, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're there. They maybe they make a good game in the regular season, but when it comes to March Madness, they seem to always get past that first round, maybe even that second round. I don't think Northern Iowa has the firepower to beat St. John's. Give me the 5 over the 12. St. John's winning that one. And then we got Kansas versus Cal Baptist. That's number 4, 13, local school. I don't see CBU getting it done here. I think Kansas is just too good. I think that Big 12 is too good this season. I think
Yeah.
they're one of the best conferences in the nation. But do you see anything different, dude?
No, I got Kansas. Honestly, I think the Big 12 is probably the best conference. I feel like there was a lot of, I mean, I see it in my backyard. When ASU had to go up against all those ranked opponents, and we just got killed. Not that we have a good team at all, but man, that Big 12 was good.
Well, when you look at the conference tournament and Iowa State, who's a 2 seed in the tournament, is the 5 seed in the conference tournament, you could tell there's a lot of
A
top
lot of talent.
teams
Yeah.
in that conference. So yeah, I think Kansas. I know they're a 4 seed. It's nothing crazy, but four is definitely respectable. 12-6 in conference play. CBU, thanks for showing up, but you're a victim to the Big 12 teams again. Number 6, Louisville versus number 11, USF. Actually, a lot of people like USF in this one. Where do you go with this?
Yeah, from my first bracket, I do have Louisville, but in my other one, I do have USF making a little run.
Yeah. Yeah, I always do initial bracket right when the bracket drops. Either I'm watching selection Sunday and then I make my bracket right away based off what they say, or even sometimes, oh, camera went out. Still there? All
There
right,
you go.
there we go. Um, Either I make my bracket right then and there with just that little information or no information at all. And initially, I did have Louisville just like you, making it past the Bulls. But after doing some research, I think I like South Florida in this one. I'm going to
Yeah.
go South Florida. It's a good 11-6 upset. Usually we get maybe one. So I like South Florida as well in this one, making a little run there. Moving on, number 3, Michigan State. Number 14, North Dakota State. If this was football, I definitely would say the Bison were getting it done, but this ain't football. Tom Izzo's team is not going to lose to the Bison here. Give me the Spartans. But what do you got, dude?
Yeah, I also have the Michigan State too as well.
Yeah. Then we got number 7, UCLA versus number 10, UCF. Another 7-10 that a lot of people are circling, but what do you got for this?
I actually have USF or UCF. Um, no real thought. I just like the closer in number matchups, and I like to take a little. It's not a huge upset, but it's a small one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I got UCF.
Yeah, I got UCLA. I think UCLA is a little underappreciated out of the Big Ten. Big Ten actually had a good season as a whole this year too. So having a 7 seed in there, respectable, good. I think they could get past Central Florida, but yet again, I would not be surprised to see Central Florida get out of that. I think there's a reason why people circled them as a potential 10-7 upset there. So I don't think that's out of the question, but I will go UCLA with them being the hometown team for me. Last one of the round of 64 for the East, we got UConn at 2, Furman at 15. I don't think Hurley's team down in UConn is going to lose to Furman. Do you
No,
have something otherwise?
no, I don't.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on. That's a quick pick there. Round of 32s. This will happen on Saturday, Sunday. We have either Duke, Siena, but we both have Duke, or Ohio versus Ohio State, TCU. So you have Duke, Ohio State. Who do you have moving on for that?
Yeah, I have Duke. I have
Okay.
Duke. Just a quick one pick against Ohio State. I just don't think that Duke team, especially if they get hot with Boozer, I don't see them losing.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying Duke had an 8-man team going into the tournament. Unfortunately, they lose 2 guys, so that could go happen, cause a lot of problems down the end of the line. I don't think it's going to happen against the team that I picked, TCU. So I think Duke gets it done past there. But once we get closer to less teams, we may
Yeah,
see a problem with Duke trying
with
to
more
run the
depth.
table.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. All right, so we both got Duke moving on. Then we got St. John's for both of us against Kansas for both of us. So 4 versus 5. What do you got for this?
I have St. John's.
Okay.
Uh, I again like I just looked at the bracketology like bracket analyzer, and St. John's got a good team. They a lot of people have actually picked St. John's over. Um,
Over Duke?
yeah, no, sorry, my bracket just messed up. Over
Oh, you're good.
over Kansas. Sorry. So moving on to 1 and 5. Yeah, I do think St. John's will get past Duke.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at because they're a team that I am not surprised if St. John's gets past, as we mentioned earlier. And I also have St. John's number 5 over number 4 there, Kansas. But looking at what ESPN has, this is 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday when we're recording this. The picks are 5.9 million St. John's, 5.2 million Kansas of this matchup here. So a
Yeah,
lot of
and
people
they've
like St.
actually
John's as well.
updated a bit. It's 6 million now for St. John's and
Six
five.
million. Okay, so
five-
it went up. So it's that kind of thing where a lot of people like St. John's. I could see him disappointing, but I'm also on the train of I like St. John's in this matchup as well.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to where we both have number 11 South Florida versus number 3 Michigan State. What do you got for this, dude?
Um. See, South Florida versus Michigan. I honestly like. It's gonna be tough. I feel like if South Florida gets out of Louisville, um, then like they're gonna have a hot team. Could go on a little Cinderella run. Again, Michigan State is really, really good. So it's going to be tough, but I think in a toss-up game like this, I think Michigan State probably will squeeze it out and get it done.
Yeah, yeah, I also agree. I think South Florida really cool upset there against Louisville, but I don't think they'll get enough firepower past Michigan State. So I also got Michigan State as well. And the last one, you have UCF versus UConn. I got UCLA versus UConn. I'll start off real quick. I think UConn could go down in this round. They had some shaky ends to the season, especially against St. John's out of everybody. So I think UConn could show up and not be that team that we expected at the beginning of the year, and we see the end of the season UConn team. So give me UCLA with the upset here. You got to pick somebody to kind of go on a little bit of a run that shouldn't be there. I think UCLA could be that team based off of history, based off of Cronin. Wait, his name's Cronin, right? Mick Cronin, I think, head coach there for UCLA. I think he could get them done. He's been to, I think, the Elite Eight before with his team. So I think there's a good chance he could get past UConn here. So I got UConn losing to UCLA.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I also have let's see, I have UCF over UConn as well. So not quite
Okay.
the same, but I do have UCF in there. So UCF over UConn, agreed.
All right. And then to wrap up the East, who do you have winning that side of the bracket?
Let's see. It's hard. I'm looking at this as a half screen. It's kind of difficult,
Yeah, so
but right,
I'll start it off then. So I'll have Duke and UCLA playing for that Final Four spot. And I got Duke winning it out of this one. Again, I think Duke is a very good team. Yeah, that would be down to pretty much 6 players for the rest of the tournament, but I still think they have a good chance today to get the job done, or this week to get the job done. I got Duke going to the Final Four out of the East.
and I actually have St. John's making it to the
Okay.
Final East. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I really don't hate that at all. It's just going to be what kind of team do we see from them?
Yeah.
All right, let's head to the South now, where Florida gets the number 1 seed, and they'll play against the 16 seed, which is the play-in later today, which is either Prairie View A&M or Lehigh. I'll start it off. I don't see either of those teams beating Florida. The national champions from last year will get done going to the round of 32s at the very least. Give me Florida.
Agreed. I also have Florida. Not much discussion there.
Yeah. Number 8, Clemson versus number 9, Iowa. Another coin flip game. Another really close what the committee thinks on these two teams. A lot of people like Iowa. Well, what do you got, dude?
I actually have Iowa. Yes. I just don't think that Clemson is gonna show up um as much as Iowa is. And I know it's really close, but looking at the bracketology, almost 7 million people have picked Iowa over 5 million who has picked Clemson.
Yeah,
So
pretty much a 2 million pick split.
yeah,
Iowa Clemson. Crazy. And I also agree with the public. I agree with you. I think Iowa gets the job done. Again, 8-9s are a coin flip. Nines actually have a better record than eights do in these tournaments. So keep that in mind. But I also agree. I think Iowa gets the job done. I think the Big Ten is also better than the ACC this season. So I think they can be better prepared
that is
when it
true.
comes to this tournament. Next up, number 5, Vanderbilt versus number 12, McNeese. A lot of people like Vanderbilt to make a good run. Vanderbilt scores a lot of points, 86.4 points per game. Their defense is going to be something that I think might hold them back, 75.2 points for the opponents. But I still think they had some pretty good resume this season. They actually beat Florida earlier in the year, so that could be a matchup we see again, that Florida actually gets another loss to Vanderbilt. So we'll see that down the line potentially. I think Vanderbilt gets the job done here, but McNeese always seems to show up in March. You never hear about this team until March.
Ever.
McNeese might make a good little run here, but I don't think they'll get past Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's hard to the SEC to get past them. In football and basketball too. They've shown that they can carry their weight because they went on a little run as a conference. They had a lot of ranked teams
Yeah.
towards the beginning of the year. So I agree. I don't think McNeese makes it past, and I got Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. Number 4, Nebraska. We're number 13, Troy. This is actually the fourth time that we have a matchup in March Madness since '85 that neither team has won a tournament game. So regardless of who wins this game, it's gonna be their first time ever
Yeah,
in
first
program
ever.
history that they win a March Madness game. For Nebraska, that's very surprising. When I was looking back at all their seeds, their highest seed they've ever had is third in 1991. They got upset in that one by a what is that, a 14 seed. So not good for Nebraska, not good history there. Troy doesn't really seem to get high seeding, so I'm not surprised they don't have one. But who do you think gets their first tournament win in program history?
I think it's going to be Nebraska. Um, I just got to go with. I know their history is not good for either team, but this year I think Nebraska will have a little bit more something to prove. Only losing 6 games and being the 4th seed, got to go with them.
Yeah, I also agree. I think Nebraska gets the job done. They get their first program win. I think it's very surprising that they don't have a program win to this point with how good they've had a couple of their teams.
Yeah, in the
So I
past.
think they get the job done against Troy. I could see it being a very close game though, because of
Yeah,
the history just not being on their side. But I think Nebraska maybe wins by 4. Maybe they get Troy misses the field goal at the end and has to foul. That's why they a little bit more separation there. But Nebraska gets their job done, very close, very marginal. But watch out for their defense, though. Pretty solid defense there for the Cornhuskers. Then next, we got number 6, North Carolina, number 11, VCU. I'll start this one off. I got the upset here, 11 over 6. VCU. VCU shows up in March. They have some good history in the past. North Carolina, I don't think is all that great this year. Yeah, they don't have a bad record. Yeah, they're 12 and 6 in ACC. I already mentioned, I don't think the ACC is one of the better conferences this year out of the Power Four. So I got VCU. As long as VCU is able to keep up scoring, they actually average more points than North Carolina this season. Defensively is practically the same. I think there's a good chance VCU gets the job done. So I got VCU.
yes, I actually have to disagree with you. I don't think UNC is that good of a team, but or not that good of a team, but I don't think they're not as good as they used to be. And I think with all the NIL stuff it has really like factored that in. So I do have to go with UNC here, but I don't think they make it past the second round.
Yeah. No, I also had the safe pick of spoiler alert, VCU not making it past the next round either. So if UNC does get there, I'm not going to lose a lot of points from this one, but I could see an upset here. All right, number 3, Illinois. Number 14, Penn. I don't see a lot of people talking about Penn. Penn kind of got lucky in their conference tournament to get in there. Good for them. But I got Illinois smoking
Great.
them in this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we got number 7, St. Mary's versus number 10, Texas A&M. A lot of people like Texas A&M because of what they've done this season. I don't. I'm not one of them. I got St. Mary's getting the job done.
I actually have Texas A&M over over St. Mary's. It is very close looking at the bracketology analyzer. Just about 700,000 people have picked St. Mary's over Texas A&M, but I got to go with Texas A&M here.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that pick. I just looking at what they've done this season, I see more losses than wins against notable opponents. I don't think they're well enough prepared. Yes, St. Mary's doesn't have that good of a schedule, but I'm going to take them. I think St. Mary's just shines in March a little bit more here. Number 2, Houston versus number 15, Idaho, the last round of 64 for the South. What do you got for this one?
I got Houston. Not really a huge discussion.
Yeah,
Uh,
same.
Houston is one of my favorite teams in this whole bracket. So
Yeah, yeah, nothing really much more to say there. We'll move on. All right, so we got round of 32s for the South. Number 1, Florida for both of us versus number 9, Iowa for both of us. What do you got, dude?
let's see. I have Florida.
Yeah, me too. I don't think Iowa is even close to Florida. Florida runs the table. They move on. Then we got number 5, Vanderbilt for both of us versus number 4, Nebraska for both of us. I got Vandy for this one. I already mentioned why I think they're pretty solid this year. And Nebraska's history doesn't really look too good here. So give me Vandy.
Yes, I agree.
Then we got you have number 6 North Carolina. I have number 11 VCU. Both of those going up against number 3 Illinois. You start off, dude. What do you got for this?
Yeah, I got like I said, I don't think if UNC makes it past the first round, I don't think they make it past the second. So with that, I'm gonna go with Illinois.
Yeah, I already kind of alluded to it. If VCU makes it past, good for them. I don't see them getting past Illinois, so we both have Illinois moving on there. The last round of 32s here, we got both number 2 Houston. You have Texas A&M at the 10. I have St. Mary's at the 7. I still think the Big 12 is a force to be reckoned with. Give me
Agreed.
Houston to move past either of those teams there for me.
Yeah.
But do you have anything different?
No, I don't think it matters who makes it, but I don't think Houston's losing to either of those teams.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you, man. All right, so Final Four representing the South. I have Houston over Florida in the Elite Eight for Houston to move on to the Final Four. I think Houston, again, we already talked about it, is a very good team. They're underrated. They had a little bit of a bad middle of the season. They lost what, like 4 games in that little span. But the teams they lose to are good teams, and they're in the tournament now. So it's the kind of thing where, yeah, they lost those games, but they're good teams. What do you got, dude?
Yeah, I also have Houston over Florida, I think is what we came down to. We both have the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that. Actually, no, I lied. I'm looking at the wrong bracket. I have Florida over Houston
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
uh,
okay with
to go
it.
to the Final Four.
All right. Yeah, the national champs from last year, they're still a good team. Wouldn't be surprised to see them get back to that Final Four. They've done it before, they can do it again.
Agreed.
All right, we'll head to the West now, where number 1 is Arizona, and they'll have to face up against the Fins Up of Long Island, the 16th seed over there. I don't see it getting done for Long Island. Fun little storyline for the past, little month here, but Arizona is a very good team.
Yeah,
They move on easy.
I agree. Yeah, there's not much discussion there.
Moving on, number 8 Villanova versus number 9 Utah State. And Utah State feeds off of this little 8, 9, 10, 7 seeding that they always seem to get. I think there's a good chance Utah State moves past Villanova. And in this bracket, I got the Aggies of Utah State moving on. But what do you got, dude?
I actually have to go with Villanova here.
All right.
Again, I feel like you could pick either team and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. We'll move on. Number 5, Wisconsin. Number 12, High Point. We already mentioned High Point at the top of the show. As a 12 seed, very respectable numbers, 30-4 on the year, 15-1 in conference play. But what do you think, dude? Do you think they get past Wisconsin here?
I don't think they get past Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin isn't like a huge powerhouse, but they have played more notable opponents. I feel like they are better suited for this tournament than High Point.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at the points per game, 90 for High Point, 83 for Wisconsin. So it's going to be a high scoring matchup. I think High Point's going to feed off of this kind of matchup being High Point, not a lot of defense. The bad thing is High Point, again, you mentioned it, does not have a very good resume compared to Wisconsin. So Wisconsin's going to be a little bit more ready for this, especially with their losses in this past season. They'll be ready for a team like High Point. I like High Point a lot. In a couple of other brackets, I have them upsetting here. And for the sake of the podcast, for the sake of this bracket, I got Wisconsin moving on as well. And then we move on. Number 4, Arkansas. Number 13, Hawaii. I don't see an upset for the Warriors here. Give me the Razorbacks. Moving on. What do you
Yes,
got?
I agree. Razorbacks, it's unfortunate because you would like to see a team like Hawaii go on a little run. That would just be so cool. But I don't think they will make it past Arkansas.
Yeah. Arkansas is a good team. I don't see it either. Moving on, number 6 BYU versus number 11 Texas, who actually won yesterday against NC State. Do you see Texas getting on a little run? They already got one win. Can they get another
I
here?
do. I do see them going on a little run. I think they had that buzzer beater, right?
Yeah.
That was Texas. Yeah. So yeah, I got Texas over BYU. I feel like they got it. They already got March Madness in the bones. They're ready to go on a run.
All right. I think there's always one of those plans at the 11s that like to go on a run. I don't think it's this team for me. I got BYU. I think coming out of the Big 12, they're going to be a little bit more ready for a team out of the SEC. But Texas already has that little bit of magic in their bones right now. They're already moved past one team. They could do it again. But give me BYU because, spoiler alert, I had the other 11 seed moving on instead. So that's my pick, though. Number 3, Gonzaga versus number 14, Kennesaw State. What do you got for this one, dude? You going with the Georgia upset there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them for a little spunkiness, a little hometown cooking. But I'm gonna choose Kennesaw State. Uh, no real reason. I don't think they could actually get it done, but you kind of have to go with the hometown team
Oh,
against
yeah.
Gonzaga. Might as
And
well.
it's March, dude. I mean,
Anything can happen.
we could laugh at it right now that you got a 14 over 3, but when it comes down to it, this team plays on Thursday at 7.
Well, my
It
bracket
could
shoots
be
up
a
into the top 100.
Yeah, it could be one of the best games we see in the round of 64s, and Kennesaw State gets the job done. Um, I have no connections to Atlanta outside of George and Keenan here. I don't think Kennesaw State will get it done. I'm wearing a Gonzaga jersey right now, so give me the Zags. I'll have them moving on. Again, they're a team that only shows up in March. You never hear about the school ever until basketball season, so I'll give them the edge here. I got Gonzaga. Number 7, Miami versus number 10, Missouri. A couple people are really circling this one as a potential good one. The picks are leaning towards Miami at 7 million or so, compared to about 4.5 million, excuse me, for Missouri. I don't think Miami is all that great. I'm going Missouri with the 10-7 upset here, but what do you got, dude?
I also have Missouri.
All
Um,
right.
a nice little kind of football matchup, to be honest with you. But
Right? Yeah,
I
I'm
do
okay
have
with
to go
this. Yeah.
Mizzou, getting it done. They haven't. Sorry, not Mizzou, but Miami kind of went on a little losing streak towards the end of the season. Um, haven't gotten their last one since February 14th, so almost about a month. Um, and I just don't think they're gonna get it all back together before having to play Mizzou. So I got Mizzou over Miami.
All right. And then last one out of the round of 64, we have number 2 Purdue versus number 15 Queens. Queens, very first time in March Madness. Thanks for showing up. Purdue gets the job done though.
Yeah, pack your bags. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on around the 32s for the West. We both have Arizona, the 1 seed, moving on. You have Villanova at the 8. I have Utah State at the 9. Who do you have moving on though for that one?
Unfortunately, I hate to root with this school because I hate them so much, but I don't think it matters Utah or Villanova. I think Arizona will get it done.
Oh, 100% agree, dude. Everything you said backed it up before you. Arizona moves on. Moving on, we both had number 5 Wisconsin going up against number 4 Arkansas. I have Arkansas moving on. I think they're a pretty good depth team there. I got Arkansas going up against Arizona. It could be a very fun matchup there. But what do you got, dude?
Yes, I have Arkansas as well.
All right. Then we have, actually, we have different matchups for both. You have number 11, Texas versus number 14, Kennesaw State. I had number 6, BYU versus number 3, Gonzaga. But let's talk about yours. You have 2 double-digit seeds going up against each other. What do you got moving on?
Yeah, we don't see this too often. So it would be cool to see this happen. 2 double-digit seats, like you mentioned, but I gotta go with Texas. I think if Kennesaw State even wins against Gonzaga, it'll be a fluky, like game winner. It'll be a close game, something like that.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they'll be able to like keep that and sustain that. But I gotta go with Texas.
All right. Yeah. So for me, BYU, Gonzaga. I like Gonzaga a lot when it comes to March. I think this is a good chance this year they could get to the Elite Eight, if not even the Final Four. Bad thing is they have Arizona in that bracket, but I won't go too far ahead. I think Gonzaga gets the job done here. I think they're just better than BYU. They'll get the job done. And the last one, the round of 60 or round of 32, excuse me. We both have number 10 Missouri going up against number 2 Purdue. I got Purdue winning this one. I don't think it's going to be close. Do you have anything different?
I have Purdue.
All right. And then heading to who represents the West for the Final Four. Already mentioned at the top, hate rooting for them, but I don't know how they don't get to the Final Four. I got Arizona beating Purdue here. They're very good. They've got a lot of good talent. Two losses on the season. They won the Big 12 regular season. They won the Big 12 tournament. And they're going to be a tough team to beat. It's going to be a fluky game if they're going to lose a game. They got a lot of NBA talent on that squad. Unfortunately, I got Arizona there. But what do you got, dude?
I have Arizona over Arkansas, agreed, and then I have Purdue over Texas. Um, although to go against your point that you made, a lot of people thought Arizona was going to be in the same position last year. I
It's a
forgot who
good
they
point.
lost to. Ended up losing to a team that they shouldn't have. So I would watch out for that they could do that again. And if it's going to be a team, it could be Arkansas. Who knows? But for the sake of this bracket, I'm going to go with Arizona, Purdue, and then yeah,
Yeah, no, you make a good point that they don't have the history going on their side. Only one national championship for being a basketball school that doesn't really look too good there. So, yeah, there you go. So they haven't won since the 90s. It seems like their time is due, but yet the Big Ten hasn't won a championship since the 90s as well. Maybe this is their time as well too. So maybe Purdue helps represent the Big Ten in the Final Four there. So
made it to the Final Four. What was that? 2 years ago?
yeah, two
Yeah.
years ago out in Arizona. All right, we'll move on to the Midwest. Round of 64 has number one Michigan seed here versus number 16 Howard, who beat UMBC last night in a close matchup as well. I don't think Michigan loses to Howard, even though Howard has a little momentum here, but Michigan moves on for me.
I agree. I think Michigan is the overall like one of the best schools in this whole bracket this year.
Mm,
A lot of people are saying that, and I couldn't agree with them more.
all right. All right, we'll move on. Number eight, Georgia versus number nine, St. Louis. Personally, I think it's a coin flip game, but we'll start off with you, dude. You're the Dogs fan. You got him moving on.
Oh yeah, I have to. It would be a sin to be a Georgia fan and root against them. So I'm gonna go with Georgia.
All right. Yeah, for me, I also got the Dogs moving on. Again, I think it's a coin flip. I don't know why the camera is all jumpy right now. But I got the Dogs moving on. Unfortunately, I had to face Michigan, but at least I get one done. Moving on, number five, Texas Tech versus number 12, Akron. A lot of people have talked some good things about Akron. Unfortunately, I'm gone that way now. I think I
Yeah.
heard too much stuff about Akron. I got Akron moving on.
Oh, okay. I actually have Texas Tech. Again, that Big 12 is scary, and um, they only. I feel like every Big 12 team that's in this bracket only has a collection of losses, and it's all amongst each other.
Yeah,
So
right? Yeah.
better gets better. I feel like, and I just don't think they're gonna go down.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. All their losses for the Big 12 have been against other tournament teams of the Big 12. So they're gonna be a fun conference to watch. Moving on though, Alabama at the 4 seed versus number 13, Hofstra. I don't know anybody that picked Hofstra. I don't even think I picked Hofstra in any of my other ones. Unfortunately, Alabama did lose one of their guards because of the arrest, all that kind of
Yeah.
stupid controversy thing there. He's gone. He's off the team. He will not be there. I don't think that really slows him down past Hofstra though. Give me Alabama.
Yeah, I agree with taking Alabama. I feel like the bench runs deep. Shout out Hofstra though, a little roller hockey mention right
Oh, that's
there.
right. Yeah. That might be
National
the only
champions.
reason
Was
why I've
that
actually
last year,
heard that
2 years
school
ago?
before.
But
All right, we'll
yeah, so
move.
yeah, I definitely have Alabama.
All right, yeah, yeah, pretty easy there. Number six, Tennessee versus the playing game of Miami of Ohio and SMU for the 11. Miami of Ohio obviously has all the storylines, only one loss coming into this. SMU kind of been slipping a little bit near the end of the season. I don't know who you have winning that game. I have Miami of Ohio winning that playing
I
game.
agree.
You do too?
Yes,
Okay, so let's pick this as if Tennessee versus Miami of Ohio. We'll start off with you. Who do you have winning?
I have Miami of Ohio winning that playing game, and then I also have them taking down Tennessee.
Yes,
I like how they went on it. Basically, was a Cinderella team the whole season. I feel that I understand them not being like a fully ranked team, but a little disrespectful, I feel like too. What more did you want from them? Right.
I
I mean, they
agree.
only lost one game. And they are a notable school. It's not like they are Hofstra or McNeese or something, you know. So Yeah, I do have Miami of Ohio winning the play-in and then also Tennessee.
Yeah, no, I agree. I 100% agree with everything. I don't know why people are so against this team and want them to lose. I think it should be praised that you go undefeated regardless of what conference you're playing in. It's only happened a handful of times too going into the tournament. All those teams were either one or two seeds, I believe. So it's the kind of thing where I'm all like, why do we not praise this? I mean, I think they
Yeah,
shouldn't have even had to play in to get in here. But I think if they get past SMU, give them the win against Tennessee. But if SMU beats Miami of Ohio, it'd be disappointing. I think Tennessee will get the job done there. But I'm picking this as if Miami got the job done. I will keep it regardless. I won't change it if SMU does get the job done. I will still root for that 11/6. But I'm hoping Miami helps themselves out, gets the job done, quiets all the haters for a little bit there.
agreed.
All right, number 3, Virginia versus number 14, Wright State. I'm not even sure where Wright State is. Give me Virginia.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know what right state is either.
Number
Same.
7, Kentucky versus number 10, Santa Clara. I actually got the 10-7 upset here. Give me Santa Clara. Um, Local team. Why not? Give them a shot here. But what do you got,
Yeah,
dude?
I actually also have Santa Clara over
All
Kentucky.
right.
Yeah,
All right, Santa Clara moving on for both of us. And then last one for round 64, number 2, Iowa State versus number 15, Tennessee State. Again, thanks for showing up, Tennessee State, but I got Iowa State moving on,
thanks.
dude.
It is cool though seeing HBCUs included into the tournament. But unfortunately, thank you. Take all the drip. Enjoy the moment. But we'll see you next time.
Yep, totally agree. All right, round of 32s. We both have Michigan at the 1 seed going up against number 8, Georgia. I got Michigan moving on. I think you mentioned it before. They're one of the best teams in this tournament. I don't think Georgia really slows them down.
No, I disagree. I don't think they slow them down, but I feel like for a little bit of bracketness, I have to go with the dogs.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
just for the sake of the bracket.
All
Blame it
right.
on.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. You had number 5, Texas Tech versus number 4, Alabama. I got number 12, Akron versus number 4, Alabama. We'll start off with you, though. Texas Tech, Alabama.
I really like this Texas Tech team. I did see them in person, and I was very impressed. And I have to go with them
All
over
right.
Alabama.
All right. Yeah, for me, I got Akron, Alabama. I think you got to go at least one double-digit seed going into Sweet 16, going into the weekend. I think that's going to be my team this year. I think Akron will be my double-digit team that I root hard for to the Sweet 16. The bad thing is they may lose first round and my bracket's toast. So I got Akron moving on past Alabama. I'll be fingers crossed for that, but who knows? I mean, it could go the total opposite way. They lose first round to Texas Tech, and then I'm sitting here all sad. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll move on to the next one. Number 11, Miami of Ohio or SMU versus number 3, Virginia for both of us. I have the Cavaliers moving on, but what do you got, dude?
I also have the Cavaliers moving on.
All right.
Shout out Virginia, OG basketball school.
Yeah, then definitely could run the table here. And then we both actually had number 10, Santa Clara versus number 2, Iowa State. What do you have, dude?
I have Iowa State. Uh, that's a really good basketball team right there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, not really much discussion there. I just think congrats Santa Clara, but Iowa State is going to show you that there's levels to this.
Oh yeah, Iowa State I think is the best number 2 seed in this bracket. They look really good all season long. They had that little shake up in the middle of the year too, which caused them to go down to a 2 seed pretty much. But they are a very good team. I also have Iowa State moving past Santa Clara. I don't think it'll be too difficult for them. All right, so for the Midwest, the final four represented for you.
I have Iowa State.
Okay. All right. Yeah, for my initial bracket, I also had Iowa State. I have them playing against Michigan, but I have Michigan moving on. I think that's a coin flip game. I think that's a game that most people expect to see when it comes to Elite Eight, Michigan versus Ohio or Iowa State, excuse me.
Yeah,
But I think Michigan maybe gets an extra free throw down the line. They make it, Iowa State don't, and that's the story of the
that's
game.
the
So
game. Yeah.
I think that could be it. But again, it's March. Anything can
It's
happen. I'm
anything is possible.
I'm gonna root for the Big 12, but because of the sake of I already have two Big 12 teams in there, it'd be hard to see three Big 12 teams in there. But I still We'll root for the Big 12. All right, dude. So let's make our national championship picks. Remind us on who your final four are, and then make your pick for national champion.
My final four is St. John's, Florida, Purdue, and Iowa State. And who I have winning that is going to be St. John's. I think they just have to win 2 games. They won 2 rounds. I think they're going all the way.
All right.
Really rooting on them. And then I'm going to have Purdue coming away. Their unusual style of basketball with that small guard and the way they just run their picks and screens and stuff. It's very difficult. It's very college basketball like. And then in that case, I'm going to have Purdue over Iowa State.
Okay. Yeah, I like your picks. I really can't complain too much about that. I think there's a little bit more parity this year when it comes to this team could definitely win it all than last year's bracket.
Sure.
Last year's bracket, we actually had a chalky Final Four. It was all number 1 seeds. This year, you could have all number 1 seeds. You could have all number 2 seeds, and I don't think it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Or you could bring in a 4 seed, and I would not even say that's crazy either this year. So for me, again, I got Duke, Houston, Arizona, Michigan. Between Duke, Houston, I got Houston winning that one. I think Houston's a very good team. I think they could get past a team like Duke. And we already mentioned earlier, Duke is down 2 guys. I think that's going to hurt them further down the line. So I got Houston moving past them. Arizona, Michigan, I think, unfortunately, Arizona's the best team in the tournament. History's not on their side. They could choke, and I will hope that does happen, and I will eat all those points and laugh about it. But I got Arizona moving past Michigan. So I got an all Big 12 matchup at the end. My heart can never pick Arizona to win the national championship.
No.
So I got Houston.
How good they look. LeBron could be 25 and on that team. I'm still not picking them.
Yeah. No, I can never pick Arizona to win a national championship, and regardless any sport, even if they are a minus 5,000 on the DraftKings or whatever sport book, I can never pick them as a national champion. I will always root against them for that. So give me the Houston Cougars getting the job done. I think a Cougar is better than a Wildcat anyways. They will probably beat them up in a matchup. So give me the Cougs winning the national championship and cutting down the net for my bracket this year. All right, dude. So that'll do it for this episode. Anything you guys want to mention? Anything you forgot to talk about?
No, I just wanted to say really quick that a wildcat isn't even it's not really an animal. It's just a collection of animals. So
all right,
pick a side, That'll do it for me.
I like it. I think we should just end on that note. So if you guys haven't already, check out the social medias, TikTok and Instagram. Links are down in the bio. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, the bell icon so you guys are notified when episodes like this drop. Keenan will be back on more episodes. We're already planning an NHL episode. So if you guys like hockey, make sure you guys tune in for that one. Hopefully recorded that maybe next week and release it sometime next week. So make sure you guys check out that. That will be a fun episode. We love talking about hockey, the both of us. Maybe George on that episode. We'll see if he even responds to the text. So we'll see if that happens. But thank you guys so much for listening. 210 episodes in the books. Enjoy March Madness this weekend, and we'll see you guys later.